Welcome back to another fantasy football friendly focus. I am your host that boasts who knows the most. No, I'm just kidding. But how'd you guys do last week? I was 1-1 in both my leagues. If I started Brandon Ayuk and Kenneth Walker III, probably would have won, but who could have seen that coming, right? So, what did we learn last week? Learn that Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, could they be on their last leg? They lost to some teams that they probably should have beat, but they didn't. That's the NFL for you. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, I traded for him, so I traded David Montgomery for him. I needed a quarterback. Matt Stafford's not doing it for me. Hopefully he can manage. We'll see. The trade deadline's coming up in about a couple weeks or so, so hopefully they get him some weapons. Robbie Anderson, if you learn to complain to your coach on the sideline, you get traded. So I think everybody wants out of Carolina. I think it's going to be like a fire sale. DJ Moore, CMC probably going to be next. That team's a mess. It's going to be a total rebuild. And we also learned that the Jets and Giants, don't sleep on those teams. They're playing pretty well. The Jets beat the Packers with some good defense and some game management. And the Giants play pretty well behind their defense and game management as well. So that goes to show you that defense does pretty well for a team. So don't sleep on these teams. So let's just jump right into it. So tonight's game is going to be the Saints at the Cardinals. Finally, a game that's probably not going to be a snoozer this week. So for the Saints, I'm not sure if Jameis Winston's coming back. I'm not sure. The only people I'd probably start is Kamara. I'm not even sure on Michael Thomas or anything like that. Kamara would probably be the only person I would trust start this game. It's going to be in Arizona. So maybe Taysom Hill would probably be a good flex if you have him, because he's always good for running for a couple of yards, maybe a touchdown or so. For the Cardinals, I'd probably say it seems that every team that plays the Saints this year scores a lot on them. So I'd say start Kyler Murray with confidence. Robbie Anderson, hence, being traded to the Cardinals, I'm not sure that I would say start him yet until he gets some kind of chemistry with Kyler Murray, seeing how Marquise Brown is out for not the entire year, but for an extended period of time. So maybe he'd be a nice pickup to stash on your bench for the time being. He is a speedster. Maybe a new change of pace would help him a lot. I think James Conner would be a good start. Zach Ertz as well. I wouldn't trust starting Arizona defense. They're kind of iffy this year. Same with Saints defense. So this game is kind of pick and choose your players, see who you want to start this week. So let's go on to the next game. So we got the Browns at the Ravens in the next game. The Browns show you they can kind of gut it out, but they didn't really last week against the Patriots. So the Baltimore Ravens, they don't seem like the Baltimore Ravens of old. So I would say Jacoby Brissett, probably start with caution. Probably not at all if you have a better option. Start Amari Cooper for sure. He seems to be the number one receiver there, of course. Same with Njoku. Start up the two running backs, Hunt and Chubb as well. I wouldn't start Cleveland defense. Ravens, Lamar Jackson is no-brainer. Same with the wide receivers. Mark Andrews, of course, no-brainer as well. The running back situation in Baltimore is weird. I heard they just signed Deshaun Jackson as well. I would say a wait-and-see kind of thing. He is 35 years old. Baltimore defense sit them. So this game is divisional game. Could be kind of close. Mid to like mid-scoring, not to a really high-scoring game because they know each other pretty well. So the Buccaneers and the Panthers is the next game. So I'm pretty sure Tom Brady's pissed from last week. So I'll see him just unload on the Panthers that pretty much just packed it in. They just traded Robbie Anderson away. They're probably just gonna not play really well at all. Baker Mayfield's out for a couple of weeks. Start off Tom Brady with confidence. All the wide receivers, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette. I think Brake got a concussion last week, so I wouldn't start him. He's probably going to be kind of iffy. I would start Tampa Bay defense, that's for sure. Um, I think PJ Walker is going to start another one. I think Darnold's about to come back, but I still wouldn't suggest starting any of those guys. I would hold on to DJ Moore because he's probably likely going to be traded. He'd probably be to a better team. So, but starting this week, probably not. Same with CMC. I think he's going to be traded. I think the Panthers just want a good amount of compensation for him. Yeah, and Panthers defense, no, won't start them. So the Falcons at the Bengals is the next game. So the Falcons are a scrappy team. They're not going to go down and be like the bottom dwellers of the NFL this year. So they're going to play against the Bengals this week in Cincinnati. Mariota is probably worth a stream this week, but not sure it's going to be in Cincinnati this week, so it's going to be kind of tough. I'm not sure about his receivers, Rick London. I think Kyle Pitts has finally scored a touchdown last week, but start with caution. That's for sure. I'm sorry. So, excuse me. So, and I'm not even sure the running back situation in Atlanta right now, so I would stay away from that. And Atlanta defense, no, would start them. Looks like Joe Burrow is back. He threw for about 300 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. Yeah, start him with confidence. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, start them. Start Joe Mixon for sure. And the Bengals defense is worth a stream this week. So they're at home. They got a lot of confidence. Look for them to get pressure on Mariota and company. So the Lions are coming off a bye this week. So after getting pretty much obliterated by the Patriots before their bye week, I don't see them doing the same, getting that momentum of scoring a lot of points against the Cowboys this week. So the Cowboys are back at home. Dak should be at home. So I wouldn't recommend starting Jared Goff. I think that the Cowboys defense is really good. They're going to get to Goff for sure. When it comes to Amon St. Brown, I think they're gonna have Diggs on him, so I wouldn't start him. Hawkinson probably, he's probably tight end's probably gonna get some good looks. Swift and Committee probably not. They're gonna stifle them. Might be good for some garbage time touchdowns, but other than that, no. I wouldn't start Lions defense. Dak is gonna be pretty interesting. Him coming back after the hand injury. If you were wanting to know try starting, probably would. Lions would probably be a good team start. The Lions defense is pretty bad. I'd start CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, Noel Brown. Start up. I'm not sure if Barwin is starting this week, so be sure. But Zeke start for sure, and definitely start Cowboys defense for sure. The surprise 5-1 Giants are at the Jaguars this week. So I think they're doing it with precise defense, managing the game pretty well. Saquon Barkley seems like a man rejuvenated. So I think Daniel Jones is doing enough, but not enough for you to warrant a start for him every week. The wide receivers are kind of like a merry-go-round. I'm not even sure which one to pick. It's probably just hit or miss. Saquon Barkley start for sure. And the Giants defense is definitely worth a stream this week. So, I mean, they are away, but they do play pretty tough. So, Trevor Lawrence, they did pretty well last week against the Colts in the divisional game. But I wouldn't suggest them this week. This defense is a lot tougher this week. So, but probably start Christian Kirk. He'll probably be getting some maybe garbage time touchdowns or points. James Robinson, I think he's still not fully recovered from the Achilles tendon that he tore last year. I think that the Giants' run defense is actually pretty good, so start with caution on him. So, and Jaguars defense, I wouldn't suggest starting them at all. So let's get into the afternoon games. The Colts at the Titans. So Matt Ryan looked like he is Matt Ryan of old. He even mentioned that Frank Wright is a good offensive-minded coach that works with him because he is a quarterback, so that works well with him. So I would say start Matt Ryan with confidence. I think the Titans defense is actually pretty bad this week, so I think he should have Pittman back. I think that receiver Pierce is going to be a popular pickup, but I would maybe pick him up for a stash. I wouldn't just pick him up and start him right away because, I guess do it consistent weeks. Jonathan Taylor should be back. I'm not sure. If you have the tight ends for the Colts, I would start them. Cox and Brown, they're pretty reliable. Now, the Colts defense is kind of iffy in this one. I would say pass on starting them this week because it's a divisional game. I'm not even sure. They did give up a lot of points to the Jags last week, so I wouldn't. So it ended up being Tennessee. So Tannehill, I would say he'd be a good streaming option, not necessarily a start for sure. He's starting to build a good repertoire with Robert Woods, but that's kind of hit or miss. Derrick Henry, of course, start him for sure. I'm sure Tennessee's defense is kind of enticing to start, but they really haven't done much for me to tell you guys to warrant to start them. So I think this game is probably going to be like a barn burner like last week. So I wouldn't suggest starting either defense. So the Packers at the Commanders is the next game. So Aaron Rodgers is pissed, lost 2 in a row. They're probably going to look to take it on the Commanders, which they're going to do. Start with confidence. I know I am. I think Matt Stafford's on a bye. I'm going to be kind of iffy starting him going forward. I would say start Lazard with confidence. I think Cobb got hurt last week. Dobbs, I kind of hit or miss. Start the running backs with confidence. Dillon and Jones, of course. Tanyan is kind of showed up from nowhere. So, yeah, start him for sure. And Green Bay defense is worth a stream this week because we have Carson Wentz, like, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks with a hand injury. And then Taylor Heineke. He played pretty decent when he was the starter, so we'll see. But I would say start Green Bay defense. Washington looks lost. I don't know. When it comes to the receivers for Washington, I'm not sure. Might be some good garbage time touchdowns, but if you have McLaren, Curtis Samuel, possibly start them if you have anyone better. I don't know if Doxson's coming back yet from his injury. Brian Robinson is actually a pleasant surprise, scored his first touchdown last week, so he would probably be the starter going forward with Antonio Gibson coming in every here and there. Logan Thomas, he's always hurt, so I wouldn't start him, and would not start the Washington defense, that's for sure. The surprise 4-2 Jets are at the Broncos, so Jets defense is actually pretty well. They held Aaron Rodgers in check last week, so I see them doing it again this week to the Broncos, who are just a totally lost team. Zach Wilson, I wouldn't say start him for sure. It's Denver's defense is actually pretty good. It'll probably keep it a low to mid-scoring game. The receivers is kind of like a hit or miss. There's too many of them to see. Breece Hall is a pleasant surprise. Seems to be getting a lot of screenplays and involved in also with the running game. So Jets defense is definitely worth a stream this week. I think they're going to hold Russell Wilson in check. He's dealing with a bunch of ailments right now. Not clicking with a lot of his wide receivers. So yeah. When it goes to the Broncos, I wouldn't start Russell Wilson. He looks lost out there, probably dealing with a bunch of injuries. So I wouldn't start any of the wide receivers as well. Let's see, Mike Boone and Latavius Murray. Probably I wouldn't, though, because they'd probably be down by a lot. So they wouldn't suggest starting the running backs. Melvin Gordon, too. I think he's probably looking to get out of there and probably trade to a better team. And Denver defense is interesting, but I think that they're going to be down, so it probably wouldn't be worth starting. They'd be exhausted coming in there also, because 3 and out from the offense, so I wouldn't suggest starting the Denver defense. So next game is going to be the Texans at the Raiders. So Texans came off a loss, I think the last week before their bye. They haven't really shown much. I wouldn't start Mills. Cooks probably because he's the number one receiver. I would probably start Dameon Pierce. I think the Raiders' run defense isn't that good. the OJ Howard's like gone missing, so just probably Cooks and Pierce on the offensive side. Houston defense probably no. I think Oakland. I mean, I'm sorry, Oakland. Las Vegas is looking to get back into the win column. After a tough loss to KC before their bye week. Let's start up Devontae Adams, Derek Carr for sure, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller if he's healthy. I haven't checked on that one. Hunter Renfrow for sure, and I know that Raiders defense is looking pretty enticing start, but it seems that every time I pick Raiders defense to do something, they really don't do that much. So I say stream with caution. I say if you pick a defense to start that week for streaming, like they had to kind of show some momentum from last week in order to warrant start. But it's up to you guys. I mean, I would not start them honestly. So I'd see if you can have a better option. But if you have nobody else, then probably. So Seahawks at the Chargers is the next game. Geno Smith did kind of enough like a game manager last week to beat the Cardinals. So Chargers defense is giving up a lot of points. So I see kind of this going as a back and forth game. I'd say if you have Geno Smith, probably do start him. So for sure, DJ Metcalf. Tyler Lockett didn't do really well last week, but maybe he'll do better this week. So start with caution. Kenneth Walker III did pretty well, so start him up for sure. And Seahawks defense, nah, they are no longer the defense of old, like the Legion of Boom. So I would not suggest starting them at all. Herbert looked kind of like lost last week, I think, because divisional game, tough defense at home. But Keenan Allen, I believe, is coming back this week, so look for them to air it out more with Mike Williams. Start for confidence for sure. All the wide receivers, Eckler for sure. Gerald Everett. So look for start all those guys on offense. And Chargers defense, I would suggest sitting them this week. Seahawks are a lot better team than Denver, so I wouldn't start them this week. So the Chiefs at the 49ers this week. I thought the 49ers were going to be at the Chiefs, but it's the other way around. Chiefs are probably better from last week, losing to the Bills in a pretty good game last week. Look for them to take it out on the 49ers. So I see the Chiefs. Yep, Patrick Mahomes start for sure. It looked like Smith-Schuster is actually playing pretty well. I'd say he'd probably be the best wide receiver to start out of all the bunch. Kelsey's a no-brainer. Edwards-Helaire, start them up. I wouldn't start Chiefs defense. It's on the road. I mean, it's probably enticing. But I wouldn't suggest starting them. Garoppolo played pretty well last week, but they weren't able to do enough to win. Chiefs defense is not that good, so they're at home. So look for Garoppolo to actually play pretty well this week. Deebo Samuel, Ayuk, probably start them up if you can. Same with Jeff Wilson. Kittle probably should be thrown in the mix as well. And no, do not start 49ers defense. That's what do not start any defense against Patrick Mahomes. So the Steelers with the upset last week are going to be at the Dolphins this week. Trubisky came in after Kenny Pickett got injured and did enough for them to win. Last week was different. I was at home, but now it's going to be on the road. So I don't see Trubisky duplicating what he did last week. So I would not say start Trubisky. Claypool kind of showed up out of nowhere. So it's Najee Harris, but Dolphins did pretty decent with Teddy Bridgewater, so I wouldn't suggest starting any of the Pittsburgh guys. See them being down pretty quickly. Bridgewater would be an interesting stream this week. Possibly if you don't have anybody else. Of course, you're going to start Waddle. You're going to start Tyreek Hill. Gesicki scored 2 touchdowns last week, so he's always the guy that the quarterback seems to find in a pinch. So I would say start for sure. Raheem Mostert, probably for sure. And Dolphins defense is probably going to be interesting to start. They're probably going to pressure Trubisky a lot this week. So definitely worth the stream for sure. And the Monday night game, seems like it's going to be should be a Thursday night game. But hey, if you have Patriots players, then you'll probably be happy. But it's going to be the Bears at the Patriots, who made this game. But the Bears, I don't even know. Wouldn't start Justin Fields, any of the wide receivers. The tandem of Montgomery and Herbert are pretty good, but I would not start any of these guys at the Patriots. They are pretty good at home. Their defense is actually pretty underrated. Same with Cole Kmet. I would not start any Bears players this week if you have a chance to. Bears defense, absolutely not. Bailey Zappi's actually stepped up to be a pretty good backup. I see him doing pretty well this week for sure. Again, it'd be kind of hard for Mac Jones if he does come back to. I mean, yeah, he's probably not going to, lose a job due to injury, but he's probably be on a short leash. If he does bad, expect Zappy to come back in the game real quick. Wide receivers for Patriots, start him up with ease, no problem. Ramondre Stevenson, yeah, start him up. Hopefully Damian Harris comes back, start him up too. And absolutely start New England defense. See them, they're probably going to shut them out this week. So let's go to the kickers for this week. So for this week, for the kickers, just give me a second here. Daniel Carlson at the Texans. Against the Texans. So he's always been pretty reliable. So start him up with confidence this week against Texans. Looks like the Raiders are going to score a lot of points. Justin Tucker, no brainer. You got to start him every week. Against the Browns, they'll probably score a bunch of points. Evan McPherson against the Falcons. They're at home. They're going to probably score a lot of points against the Falcons. That's no brainer for sure. Suck up against the Panthers. He seems to be doing a lot of the scoring when it goes bad for the Buccaneers. So they're going to be playing the Panthers this week. So look for them to score a bunch of points for sure. Harrison Butker at the 49ers. So yeah, they might not score touchdowns on each drive, but you see Butker's just too good to not start at the 49ers this week. So Brandon McManus against the Jets. Look for Russell Wilson to get them into field goal range and probably just kick a bunch of field goals. I don't see them scoring a lot of touchdowns, so he's definitely worth a stream for sure this week. Jason Sanders at home against the Steelers, yeah. So I think the defense is going to get a lot of turnovers, get up plenty of opportunities for them to score. So start him up with confidence. It's Dustin Hopkins for Seahawks. He looks like he's out for 2 to 4 weeks with a hamstring injury. And they're going to have the guy for the practice squad come up. So I wouldn't say start him for sure. I would say maybe just see how he does after this week. But it should be a high-scoring game. So it gives him plenty of opportunities to score, get some points. Forgive me, I don't know his name, but I will find out next week. So, and Young Hui Koo against the Bengals. Really good kicker. Look for them to get a lot of field goals if they can't score touchdowns. So hopefully you guys do better this week for week 7. Hopefully I'm looking to get back on track. In one of my leagues, I'm doing pretty well coming back. And then one of the leagues I lost 4 in a row. Hopefully get back on track this week. So hopefully my advice helps you guys out. Thanks for watching. If you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for fantasying to our football. No, I'm just kidding. But thanks again for watching. Thanks for nerding out to our nonsense. Good luck this week, and I'll see you guys next week.